Good morning. It is the Going On Daily Live morning show. For a minute there, I looked down at my notebook here and I needed to remind myself where I was.
I can understand that.
That
You got a
split
full
second where
calendar and
I'm
you're
like,
like,
wait, what am I doing?
did you ever do this? Who am I? Where
So
am
I'm
I?
your, I'm your host, Rodrigo. My co host today is Lena Williams. How are you today?
Good. There's my name. There's my name.
Right
I'm like
there.
learning
Look,
how to
look right
point at
there.
things.
It is
Doing
It
good.
is season 2, episode 82. We've already had 82 episodes this year.
Wow. That's pretty impressive. That's impressive.
I feel like I've been on
That's a
80 of
lot.
them. I am in my 6th consecutive show.
Did you
I'm only
want to
supposed
be
to
in
do
your
one a
sixth
week.
consecutive show?
It's six.
So
Six.
Ron is trying to he's trying very hard not to do most of these, I think.
Yes. And it's
Yeah.
just been one thing after another. We are missing Ira. He's had a family emergency. So hopefully next week he'll be back. Hopefully.
And
Hopefully.
hopefully everything is okay.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Because that's
So
mhm.
today's episode is From China with Love. So that is going to have something to do with one of the topics today. It is also a book, right? Well-known book.
Isn't it to
They
Sir?
probably made a
I only
movie out
know
of it
to
too.
Sir
So.
with love. I don't know to China with love. But it's possible because there's a lot of
Yeah,
movies
I
I've
looked
not
it
seen.
up and it said it was a book.
No,
So
I did
because I
not
had to
know
come
that.
up with a name for the show, and
I
that
was
was it.
I was not aware of that.
So yeah, who knew? I'm guessing it's a book.
Well, I know
All
now.
right. So we have a great story today
Do you?
that that is going to certainly make everybody's day, and that'll be the opening story. And hopefully we're not all bamboozled, but that
No.
is the opening story.
It
So I'm
is.
curious
This will have
as to
more
know
with
what this
China.
is.
This has to do more with China than you think, right?
Wait, what?
So I send Ron or I send the people I'm working with on this podcast a list of things that I'm going to talk about, but I try very hard not to give them any idea what I'm going to say so
Yes,
that
and
they
I love
can't
that.
get ahead of me, right? So I just took the word bamboo and I added to it because I was
Okay.
researching this week
So
about just bamboo in general. These are the weird random topics that I find fascinating.
So this
Right?
has really got to do with China.
It does, and it
Okay.
wasn't even
See,
like you
like
knew that.
it all worked out.
You
It
see
all works
that?
out.
And it's
So it's
funny
for
because
two topics.
yeah, yep. So
That's great.
the fun fact about bamboo is like just how cool it is, like as a plant. That it's measured in miles per hour. That's how fast it grows. That it's the record breaker that it can grow at an incredible 35 inches each day when it's at its most whatever fortified. Uh, it's 0.00002 miles per hour. This is according to Guinness.
It grows that
So I
fast?
just thought that was so cool, right? You know, just as far as nature's concerned, I just like nature's so amazing to
So
me.
this is like a bonus fun facts then.
It is. It is. And I should have probably said fun fact, but like I had a little more of a bump out on it, meaning that I had more information than that. Um, so yeah, it's technically in the grass family. As much people try to think maybe it's a tree. It's actually like a member of the grass family. So it's just a weird offshoot of that, but it's just like I guess a tomato would be called a fruit. It's that same kind of thing where it's really grass.
Yeah. So
It's
it's
yeah.
grass.
Yeah, so it's that kind of stuff is cool to me, you
Is
know what I
that
mean?
like
Scientifically.
all those reeds and stuff like that that you see growing everywhere? I'm
Yeah.
guessing all of that is listed as grass as well.
Yeah, I think it's in that family, it definitely I would say that it makes more sense that it's closer to a reed than like a tree. And if you're down south, I used to live in Georgia. If you're down south, like there's highways that are there's tons of that on both sides of the highway when you're driving. So and it's pretty cool. It comes up pretty quick, and it lines the highways in some parts of Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina. Anyway, it's incredibly strong. It has a higher compressive strength than concrete
What?
and a tensile strength similar to steel, so it's very useful in a construction environment, believe it or not. So that's another cool thing about it.
That's absolutely amazing.
Isn't that
This is
crazy?
blowing my mind. See, Kenny, that's how you make Ron say what?
See? I made
That's
Ron
how
say
you
what
do it.
there's no way that I'm doing better than Kenny with this. That can't be happening.
Well,
So
he didn't get me last time. That's why I say that.
oh,
I
I
already
s
knew the fact that he was bringing.
yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. I don't want you to know. I wanna make
Yeah.
sure I want you to be surprised in real time.
Yeah, he tries.
So the environmental impact of bamboo, which some people might know because they make a lot of products from it, it absorbs more CO2 and releases more oxygen than equivalent strands of trees. So it's actually better for the environment than trees, believe it or not.
So maybe we should be growing bamboo.
I think so. I think we should be using it in a whole lot more stuff, and in hemp as well, but that's not what we're talking about here. Um, so it's erosion control. It's
Another
extensive.
topic.
I know, but not today. Its extensive root system, it makes it great for preventing soil erosion. So it's also good for the soil. There's no replanting needed if it regenerates from its own root system. So it doesn't need to be replanted after it's harvested. It's good. It's just like there's a whole bunch of cool
Wow,
stuff about it, right?
that's absolutely incredible.
I know. Like you
These
ever
facts are just blowing my
who
mind. It's
would
like
know that
all of
bamboo
them.
had all this going on? Like, right? So I started looking at just one fact and then I went into a research and it just like all these different information, all this different information came up and I'm like, wow, like I just I didn't know any of this stuff. So it's
So in
interesting if you
essence,
like
you were
science and nature.
bamboozled.
I was bamboozled by these facts. The cultural importance, it's used across Asia for centuries. Construction, food, textiles, and tools. So, Asia and China, because of our today's topic or today's, they're aware of that and they use it in a lot
Perfect.
of different parts of their culture. Uh, Young bamboo shoots are a popular ingredient in cuisine for Asians, which you probably already know. Little or the small ones. They're eco-friendly, so they're used in toothbrushes, flooring, clothing, and paper as sustainable alternative, which I think most people may know that already. Because there's parts
Uh,
of
I'm not sure
there's
people knew
bamboo
that.
sheets that you can buy, and they're supposed
Wait,
to be
there's sheets?
yeah, they make sheets out of them, which is like a really cool thing. And they're supposed to be really, really like resilient, and they keep you cool at night. And there's all these things about the sheets that I don't know how expensive they are. I think they may be pretty um, cost effective as well, but I haven't looked into that. I forget, but it's comparable to like, cotton sheets, which and it's way better for you as far as buying it. It actually gets rid of you don't kill as many trees and bamboo is more useful. So anyway, panda diet. A giant panda eats almost exclusively bamboo. Almost 26 to 84 pounds a day. This is an adult
Wow!
panda, and they're huge. They're just,
Jesus!
but that's how much they eat. So I thought that was crazy.
84 pounds a
Yep.
day?
And some species of
Jesus.
bamboo flower only once every 40 to 120 years, and then they
Wait,
often die
fl
afterwards. Yeah.
they have flowers?
Yes. Well, I think when I look at flowering, I think I think it means like an ecological burst of. I don't know if that it actually means like flowers in real time, but there may be flowers to those some species of those. So they're every 40 to 120 years they flower and then they die afterward in a phenomenon called gregarious flowering. So I think it's just a matter of like crops bursting in certain areas and the maturity of them and what I think it has more to do with them actually just coming up in a specific area and but I could be wrong. I didn't actually look up what flowers mean. And
This
so
is
anyway, that's
incredible.
I thought all that was really cool, and so, like, it's
I'm
your
still
with your
stunned that
morning coffee, you can all of these things
it's
about bamboo.
miles per hour it grows. I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
It is. I mean, it's very small, but they measure it that way, and so it's nuts that they grow
Stronger
like
than
that.
concrete?
Yep.
That's craziness.
Imagine that.
This is crazy. See, this is this is this is just some of the things that I love about doing this show because you never know what we're going to talk about.
Nope.
And I had no idea
No,
that it
he
was going
didn't.
to be this. I had no idea.
Yep, I
It's
know.
crazy.
I didn't want anybody to research this before I got to it, you know?
Oh,
Um,
and I like that because Kenny does the same thing. I never know what he's
yeah.
talking about when he sends me his topics. I don't know.
I
And
love
I
it.
like that about it because I mean it's hard to make the graphics. As you see,
I
I don't
know, I
have
thought about that, and I'm
some
like,
fancy
"Ooh."
picture or something like that,
Right.
you know? I mean, I could have put bamboo up there, but I did not think that it was
I know,
anything
but
to
it
do
had the
with
word in
bamboo.
it, and I'm like, "I can get away with this because it has the word in it. I can get away with this."
Yeah,
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 that's it.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, it's like sheets. Like I can't believe
Oh
they
god,
make
yeah.
sheets out of this.
That's the one thing I actually did know already because I listen to a ton of podcasts myself and audiobooks, and if you're listening to anything that has, like, advertising, a lot of times bamboo sheets are advertised like they're not for whatever reason, they're not they're advertised in that kind of environment, podcasts or, online broadcasts for radio stations and things like that, I don't seem to see them in, like, an environment on network television or anything,
Like I can't even
but
understand
yeah,
the process of making a bamboo sheet out of this.
I know. It's
Like
cool.
that's doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't, but they do, and there are people who are I would say that are, like, ethereal people or people who are more hippies or just more environmentally conscious that really do buy bamboo sheets because 'cause they're just better for everything. There's just less trees involved in, the process, and people don't want as many trees to be farmed, so that's just a better alternative, and it's actually better
Yeah,
for you and the environment, so it's
yeah,
really cool.
yeah. That is pretty cool. That's a surprise to me. So
Good.
Ron has been surprised already today. It was so surprising that we just kind of like bled into the topic itself.
Yep.
I never even did anything really to open the show.
No, we didn't. I looked at that really quick, and I'm like, "Oh, I see that we
Yeah.
needed
So
to."
I guess I'll do that now as
Yeah.
my mind is completely blown just now over bamboo. Who
Who
knew,
would
right?
thought?
I,
Who would
I
have
would
thought?
never have thought that.
The world is an
So
amazing thing.
you are watching us on Facebook at RI Broadcasting. You can donate stars to help support the show. So follow us, share the show on Facebook, let everybody know what we're doing, and you too can also be bamboozled like Ron has just been. So you can also watch us on YouTube at Rhode Island Broadcasting. Please subscribe and click that little bell so that way you know when we go on live all the time, every morning. Well, not every morning, 5 days a week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll always get that little notice. I think it comes on. I think it tells you like a half an hour before. And then,
I
of
think so too.
course, you can follow us on Twitch at
Right here.
RI underscore broadcasting. And you can join all of those people there as well. And you can donate some bits. They're just like stars. They're only a penny. So you can donate a couple of those so we can put our 2 cents in. So, yeah, simple as that. If you really want to support, though, you can go on over to Patreon. You can get a neat little mug like this and some other things like stickers and pens and coasters and stuff like that, and that helps support the show as well as you can just make us take down a video, just as simple as that. So you can
Mhm.
buy like certain reels or shorts, whatever we have it on TikTok, no matter how many views they get, if you purchase that video for $3, we take it
Wow.
down off of those um those social medias that we have it on, and you then have a little piece of going on daily. And who knows, it could be the most popular eventually. Could be. I know it's
It'll
the best
happen.
show.
It's
I
definitely
know
a
it's the
time
best.
capsule. It'll happen. And,
So
like, look at all these platforms. You got MeWe, we got TikTok, we got
everything,
Instagram,
everything.
we got Blue Sky, and
Space
then we
Hey.
got Hey, what is it? Hey Facebook now? What is it called?
No,
Hey
it's Space
MySpace, Hey
Hey.
Space, Space
Space
Hey.
Hey.
Okay.
It's just like MySpace, but
It's a
only Space Hey.
resurrected version of MySpace.
Yes.
It's
It's
pretty
pretty
cool.
neat. I like
And
it.
then we have X, which would be Twitter. Nobody's gonna call it X ever.
No,
People will just
no.
never do that. So
That's
it's
why it's
Twitter.
up there like that. Twitter/X. There's no slash though.
Excuse me.
So get on all the social, follow us, and comment during the show. I mean, we always have people watching.
Yes.
There's people watching now, and you should comment and be part of it.
Are our comments working? Can you see them? Because I think last week we were
Yeah,
trying to
they
figure
are.
out.
It is working.
So
So nobody's up this early.
people were just not talking to us.
They're
Is that
not
so?
talking.
We should just take that personally and be done with it. Okay.
Yeah. So I
Hmm.
mean, look. I mean, Danny's usually here.
Hmm.
So I know he was watching Sports Unfolded last night and he contributed a lot. So hopefully Danny shows up.
Okay.
Um he was kind to me yesterday, which is unusual. So I think all is well now in Danny world.
Okay.
So hopefully he shows up. But let's get on with the next segment,
Ron,
which I
talk
gotta
to us.
find.
What's happening? What do you got to tell us about?
So made in China. All right. So
Mm,
a lot has been said about this this tariff, right? We
yes.
put a tariff that's up to like 145% right now.
Yes. For China,
And
I believe.
China
Yes.
has given us a 125% tariff on stuff that they bring in.
So we're canceling out. We
So
got 25% in the that's what's left, right? Because we're getting the calculator out and we're doing the
yeah,
math.
so
Okay.
it is. This is a lot of different things, right?
Hmm.
So
Sure.
the port of LA receives 40% of all imports from Asia. 40%. It's like it's
Yeah.
obviously the biggest. And last week shipments are down 10%. Doesn't seem like it would be a lot, but 10%, if you get 100 shipments
Right.
in a week, you're
That's
now only getting
It's
90
gonna
of
add
them.
up. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that fact is being skewed because according to Molson Hart, he is the founder and CEO of Viahart, an educational toy company.
Okay.
He stated that the shipments that have been coming in aren't even the shipments that have to do with the tariffs,
Oh, good
but
lord.
it's a precursor to that.
Okay.
So being down 10% is just a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
He said starting May 10th, all those shipments that come in May 10th and on are the ones that are getting the tariffs.
Yeah. Wow.
So he is saying that there will be a big decline in products after that date.
Yeah.
So he's also stating that after those tariffs are in effect and the shipments start coming in,
Mhm.
you will see a decline in trucking
Yes.
because there'll
That
be
was
less to truck.
Yep. Truckers gonna lose
There will be
contracts.
warehouse layoffs
Yep.
because there's less to store, if
Yep.
any, to store.
Yep.
There will be products out of stock
Yep.
because less is coming in. And then, after all of that takes place, the shipping industry will start laying off people
Yeah.
because there'll be less shipped.
I mean, this to me is sort of common sense.
And,
Mhm.
it is, when you look at the surface, I was like, we're going to put a tariff on a country.
Mhm.
You know, it doesn't seem like it's that bad until you start doing the future math.
Mhm. Well, projections and contingency is something that
Right.
most people don't consider.
So they're saying even if it's reversed,
Yep.
it will take a long time to restore normality
Yeah,
in all of this stuff that is not going to be available to people.
exactly. I mean,
So,
in years maybe.
and now you take a look at what, most people are saying that this is just going to raise prices and everything. And it will. You
Yeah,
think, well, wait a minute, shouldn't that not be the case for domestic products? And yeah, it shouldn't be. But the problem is everything that we make here gets parts from stuff that we get from China.
exactly.
So everything else is costing more for those parts.
Right. If we can
And
get them at all, which we probably
yeah,
won't
and
at that
here are
point.
I have a list of things that are being tariffed.
Mhm.
The number one thing from China, and it's at $585 billion for 2024 alone. This is what we spent to get these products.
Yep.
Electrical machinery and equipment. So any company that is making stuff using machinery like
Mhm.
assembly lines,
Yep.
anything that has that kind of machinery, right? That stuff is getting a tariff,
Right.
125%. So it's going to cost them just to do those assembly lines and any kind of machinery that makes the products, whether it's a bottle cap thing.
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's big.
Yeah.
That's big. So I have a friend that works for a pool company
Mhm.
that makes the parts for pools and also like the the mechanical like pumps and stuff like that and all that
Yep.
stuff. That's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
So
Moving parts of
when you go
almost
to buy
everything.
your pool this summer, guess what?
Yeah.
It's probably going to cost you double.
So we don't buy them. So the companies that sell them, they start laying off people.
Yeah,
Products start either sitting on shelves or going missing. Yeah.
absolutely. This is what the tariffs do,
Yep.
and it causes all kinds of different things.
Uh-huh.
Um
Yeah.
like number 4. This is number 4, $229.5 billion spent to bring machinery including computers from China last year.
I don't know. I mean, you can look at the
So,
history. You can look at, I mean, everything is on spreadsheets. Everything is documented. Like, there's
yeah,
no mystery here.
no.
I don't,
And
I
the
don't know what to
thought, "Oh,
say.
let's make more off of these countries," right?
Well,
Yeah, I get that. But it's really not the companies that are going to be
right. It's
charged.
the
It's the
consumers.
consumer
It's
is
the
being charged.
employees. Yeah.
So all those computer boards, where do you think we get them from?
I know.
China.
I know. I wish
All
I
the
could
little
I had a,
circuits and
yeah,
stuff like that. It's not made in United States with Microsoft. They get the parts from China.
right.
So guess what? Your next computer, it's going to be double.
Did I see something about Subaru deciding they were just packing up too? Just like Subaru
Yeah.
Corporation,
Yeah,
just
there's
deciding
so many casualties
it's
out of
not
all
worth
of
it.
this.
Yeah.
It, you got to do it a different way. You got to do it a different way. And it's
Well,
everything optical, technical, medical apparatuses. Okay, so
yeah.
when you're going to the hospital,
Yeah.
and if you don't have insurance because you know it's coming, they're going to attack the insurance.
Yep. Yep.
That Obamacare is very vulnerable. You're not going to be able to go to the hospital because the simple things like checking for your blood pressure and just getting an EKG, all those things are coming from China.
You know what that means, people? Get your portfolios together and everything you've ever done up until this point medically, get it in a
Yeah,
book, get it laminated, and carry it with you. Because you're gonna
it's
have
gonna
to
be
look
ugly.
into your own past to get any information about your own health.
Yeah, and you
Yeah,
got to think it's like some of these companies are just not going to purchase them.
yeah,
They're going to
because
hopefully
yeah,
ride it out until it changes.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a giant, like, spider web. Everything's connected to everything.
Yeah,
So all of it affects everything else. It's, the butterfly factor, it's the ripple in the water.
it
Everything
is.
is affected.
It is. Everything is affected, and
Yeah, okay, yeah, and we're not gonna do that, but still, that
right.
the economical, aspect of it and the way that the equation, like, works out is
People are
that
not going to be happy in a couple of months.
I'll be surprised if it's a couple months. I
I know. I'm just giving it like
My
2
hive
months.
mind and I think we came up with something like summer, and
Yeah.
so we started
Summer's
looking
only
at
1 month
this.
away.
Right. So and I think this will happen quicker than most people expect, but
Yeah.
or that they even
Yeah.
are even paying attention to.
I mean, the
Let's be
numbers
honest.
are just staggering what
Yeah,
we get from China. Staggering.
like, I don't know. If you're gonna do something, then you should kind of sit down and look at the math that's there because we have history of it. That's what I'm saying. What you're reading off is what we already know.
Right.
So we know it's gonna be affected, so it's weird that nobody
Right.
would look at any of that and say, "Okay, well, let's see how it'll shake out."
Absolutely. I
But
mean, this isn't
I don't
rocket science.
no, it doesn't seem to be. But
Well, anyway, I just figured I'd
well,
put that
you
out
just
there.
depressed me, Ron. That's what am I gonna do now?
It is a downer, right? I mean, it's like Becky always says she has this doom and gloom
Yeah,
stuff, and
I think it's
and they are
affecting you.
terrible stories.
Yes, I know.
But this is depressing.
Yeah, it is.
It's a gut punch. It's what it really is. It's a gut punch.
I mean, all I can say is I'm not sure. I'm looking for the end goal, what the game uh, trophy is. I don't personally see anywhere that there's a definitive, hey, this is why this is all happening. I'm not seeing,
Yeah.
but, and so at least we should at least get a good explanation for it if it's happening, but that's all
We're
right.
never gonna get that.
No. So,
Never gonna get
okay,
that.
I mean, animals, whatever. Animals are gonna die. Farms are gonna go. Stuff's gonna go bad. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't know what the answers are. Maybe Ron
I don't think there are
should
any.
run
And
for
listen,
president.
the two of us, what do we know? We're just two people in Rhode Island, of all places, which is what most people think is part of New York anyway. If you go down to like Miami Beach and you say I'm from Rhode Island, they're like, "Oh, is that Long Island? Is that like near
Like
upstate New
we
York?"
have the opportunity to talk to people from all over the place, right?
Right.
And I've talked to people, in this country,
Hmm.
just talking to random people about maybe potential hosts for the show, right?
Right.
And they always ask me, "Oh, where's Rhode Island?"
I think we're so
And I'm
small that I
like,
think if you look at a
"What do you
map, like,
mean,
you
where's Rhode
almost can't
Island? You're
even
from
see
this
us.
country. You should know where Rhode Island is. If you're from this country, you should know. If you don't
Yeah.
know, our school system has failed,
Do you remember
and which it probably has."
those little stupid things? It was a Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon that used to do where they just used to walk around on the street and ask people questions?
Yes,
Like,
yes,
that's how
and
it's like
nobody
a
could
10
answer it.
times worse than that, and it was stuff like 5th grade stuff, 4th grade stuff that you're just like, "Wow, there's people, like, out there just, like, thinking that."
People just
That's
don't know.
crazy. So, yeah, I mean, your average person nowadays is 10 times worse than the guy that they interviewed on the street. That's how I feel about it. If it's not in their immediate
I
background
just
in
saw
their
a
yard.
video. Just saw a video. A guy was asking questions. What's the poorest country in the world? And people would say Africa. And I'm like, Africa's not a country.
No. No.
It's like,
It's a
and
continent.
but the point they were making was that, oh, look at now, and then they showed a whole bunch of cities that
Yeah.
are built up. They look like New York, right? It's not.
So the
It's
thing that
not
I don't
that.
understand, and I know we're going off track here, but there was this whole thing that went down with the Little Rock Six. I think there was a 50-year reunion they did on that. This is the the Little Rock School, all the stuff that went down in the 60s and now, and it seems like almost like the more information people have access to, the lazier they are about checking it. It's just like a
Yeah,
weird dot, like a I
yeah.
guess it's a where it seems like you would think that more people would be like, "Oh, I don't even have to go to the library. I don't." Does anybody remember encyclopedias?
Technology makes
We used to
people
be so
stupid,
excited that if somebody had encyclopedias in their house, like, that meant that they were, like, they were
right?
affluential if they did.
People don't
And
even know what an encyclopedia is these days.
right, and so what it was well, it was like a dictionary, but it had volumes A, B, C, D, and people would they would save their money to get, like, A, and then A would be in their house, and you'd be like, "Alright, we're on our way, we're gonna get B
Yes,
next." This was exciting because
yes.
it was so hard to get knowledge when I was growing up, and so it's so weird that, like, you have the whole world in your pocket at this point.
Yeah,
So if you wanna know what Africa's about, you could just look it up. You can
yeah.
go to Google Maps and look it up. Like, it's right there. It's not,
People
but
are too
nobody
lazy.
wants to do it. Everybody seems to just be like, it's so weird to me. It's like almost
It's
people are
just
avoiding.
laziness. It
Anyway,
is. People are stupid now.
people are
In case you
stupid.
needed
I
to
mean,
know.
I don't. I try not really hard not to sound elitist and condescending, but I just really can't help it sometimes. I can't. 'Cause there's no reason anybody should not know anything. The only thing you really need to learn is how to look things up. Obviously, you're gonna get wrong information if you just go for the first thing you see, so you have to
Right.
learn how to research things in a way that, like, you get the true information, but
Yeah.
still, it's still easier than going to the library and using the Dewey Decimal System.
Yeah.
Nobody knows what that is either, I bet.
It is what it is. All right. So
Alright.
that is a good segue to go into building habits.
Building habits. This is one of my favorite topics, and, Ron always says, "Hey, talk about what you know," right?
Yeah.
So, every New Year's Eve, everybody's like, "Oh, I'm gonna quit smoking. Oh, I'm gonna lose weight. Oh, I'm gonna start this book, or I'm gonna get a side hustle, or whatever." There's always
And it
a
lasted a week.
resolution for everybody, right? And people are like, "Oh, there's all these things that they think that they'll do that will work." Right? So, willpower, that's a myth. That's a myth. Like that willpower is the key to change your habits. Uh, you need to be highly motivated. That's another myth, right? um, People that think psychological habits like addiction and things like that are actually related to your DNA or related to, and a lot of times it's not what you think it is, right? That self control is fixed, that some people have self control and some people don't from birth, which is not true. And that, you know, also addiction is also all about craving, which technically it kind of isn't, but our bodies are and our minds are triggered by stuff, mostly environmental stuff. So there's two books that I love. One of them is Atomic Habits, excuse me, by James Clear. If anybody's read that, it's like a huge book about, I would say, more about your environmental awareness and what makes habits that you want to fix in your life and whatever, and how to look at habits, right? Not like I want to lose 20 pounds, but just like I want to be somebody that eats better, and how you reframe your habits so that you can actually make them work for you, right? And then there's another book called Good Habits, Bad Habits, and this is by a woman by the name of Wendy Wood, and she's actually excellent. And Wendy Wood has the same kind of book that does the same kind of thing, except it's research based. So basically, she'll show you, okay, they did a study of this, they did a study of that. She pulls in all these people that have done
Hmm.
focus groups and studies and things about what actually is a habit. How do you break it down, right? So from James Clear in Atomic Habits says the 1% rule, which if you improve yourself just 1% every day, and it compounds, so you have compounding progress. You'll be 37 times better by the end of the year if you just take a
Hmm.
1%. If you slice it down, right, and you say, I just wanna move this little just a teeny little bit, like, I drink soda and I shouldn't, so maybe I'll drink a little bit less, or I'll switch just my soda to something else or something more healthy or green tea, or I just change to water, just something simple like that. That actually compounds
Yeah, like you
over
can
time.
do like go from soda to say sparkling water.
Yep,
So it gives you that same sensation with the bubbles.
exactly. So if you look at, like, how basically, Atomic Habits breaks down, like, what is it about your brain that creates a habit? Why does is something so exciting? Obviously, to break a habit, you have to have what you would call instant gratification versus delayed. So you have to be the type of person that says, well, this feels good now, but I know it's bad for me. I would really rather choose something that doesn't feel good now, but I know is good for me. And most people don't. Like, brains don't do that. Most people are just like, I'm here now. The couch is here. The remote's here. The chips are here. And I'm excited about that now because I want to feel happy today. And if I leave here and go to the gym, well, that's not going to be fun. And I'm going to have to get on a machine and I'm going to sweat and it's going to be. So there's people that don't respond well to like a long term gratification like that. So there's all these different
Mm,
things. But the James has got the 1% rule, identity based habits. If you say I am a runner as opposed to I want to start running or I want to run more this year, but if you're like I am a runner, then you'll start to make your habits reflect who you think you are. So if you change
right.
your identity, then it changes your behavior. The habit loop, the cue, craving, response, reward loop that your brain actually responds to, and how to change that, and then how to make your environment better so that it serves your needs. Like if you buy apples, this is one of his examples. If you buy apples and you put them in your crisper, you don't see them. So what happens is they just go bad in there. You don't notice they're there. But if you put them in a bowl on your counter, when you're craving something, you wanna make it real easy for yourself to grab the healthy thing because it's in front of you. You're looking at it, right?
Yeah.
And then Wendy Woods gets into like friction, which is like if you go by the gym on the way home, that's a low friction activity. But if you have to go home and then drive 20 minutes to a gym, that's a high friction activity. So you want to make it like
You're
convenient for
less likely to
yourself,
do it. Yeah.
right? Discipline has a lot to do with it too, because some people are just like, look, every day I'm going to do this, whether I like it or not. I don't care. So discipline has a lot to do with it, but also there's so many other factors. So anyway, it's just a really cool couple of books to have if you're like really looking to change something and you're like not gonna just wing it anymore. Look, I really want to quit smoking or I really want to lose weight, whatever. I want to be healthier. I have kids. I want to be able to be with my kids or whatever the case may be so that you make your life better. How to
Yeah.
actually scientifically put that into practice. So that's
Yeah,
that's what I want to talk about today.
that's what most people should do
Yeah,
is really take a look at those books, and if you really want to make a difference, you got to start somewhere.
right. You definitely do.
And like every if it's too easy not to do it, it's not going to help you. And I like that gym reference because if it's on the way to what you normally do,
Yep.
you're more likely to stop there, you know?
Yeah, like I'm already going by it. Wendy
Yeah.
Wood had a thing where she said, "I like to get up in the morning." She's like, "I have kids, I have a husband, I have all kinds of stuff, and I want to run 2 miles a day or whatever." And I was like, "Where do I do this? I need to fit this in because I don't want to ignore it, but I have kids, they've got to go to school, blah blah blah. I got to take them here and take them there." So she
Yeah.
decided in the morning was better because she knew everybody was asleep. She's like, "It's like an ungodly hour, but nobody's up yet. It's quiet. Nobody bothers me. Nobody's emailing me about anything, whatever." She said, "But I didn't know how to do it." She said, "So because when I get up in the morning, you don't want to find your gym clothes. You don't want to find your sneakers." She said, "So what I did was I put my sneakers by my bed. I got dressed in my workout stuff and went to bed in them. What do I care? If I wake up in the morning, I don't have to look for socks. I don't have to look for my shorts, whatever it is I normally wear when I'm running. I just wear it to bed. What difference does it make? I'm gonna sweat and they're gonna get dirty anyway."
Right.
So to her,
Right.
that's a low friction activity, like, or, where that's one less thing to worry about. You can't say, "Oh, I can't find anything," and your brain can tell you to go back to bed if you're
Yeah.
already wearing it. So that's or there was one more thing called
Brilliant.
habit stacking. I just want to bring up one more thing. Attaching something to you want to something you already do, because it takes something like something on average of 30 something days to create a habit where it goes from what you're consciously thinking to just like something you do automatically and you don't think about, like brushing your teeth. So habit stacking is something where you say, well, I every morning I brush my teeth, but instead I want to take a vitamin. That's where you put your vitamin, right? Eventually your vitamin and your teeth brushing become unconscious, like you're not even paying attention. So that's how you commit it to your subconscious memory. So these are things that you can do. And there's way more
That
of
is
it. You
pretty
can
neat.
come find me and I'll talk to you all about it, but those books are amazing.
That's brilliant. It's so difficult, and they say that people that go to the gym regularly,
Mhm.
they skip a couple of weeks at the beginning of January because of those resolutions, and everybody
Yeah,
and their mothers are going to the gym the first 2 weeks of the year because of those New Year's resolutions. So they don't go.
right,
Regulars don't go
right.
because of that reason.
Or we go outside hours, like
Right.
4 in the morning, 11 at night, or whatever.
Yeah.
And that does
So
die off. Do you know the gyms are famous, just like Blockbuster, for their late fees? Gyms are famous for keeping people for they just basically wanna sign you up. Once they sign you up, they know you're gonna automatically forget about it, and every month you're gonna get billed, and
yeah,
you're not gonna show up. So they know I think it drops off completely by April is over, but
yeah,
those people don't come back. So,
yeah.
it's crazy,
So
but
it is crazy. So Lena, I'm
yes.
gonna do something different than I normally do when I'm on the show.
Uh-oh.
Normally, I save Ron's top 5 for the last spot,
Okay.
but I have a different topic. The fun facts is so good
Oh,
that I'm
boy.
gonna save that for last today.
Wow. Okay.
So we're gonna do Ron's top 5 now. So this is unprecedented.
Wow.
Ron's top 5 famous people born in Montana. It is Montana Day, National Montana Day, I guess.
On
So
the
so it
3rd of
celebrates
May?
so it
Wow.
celebrates the state, right?
Okay.
So I thought it would be pretty neat to do a thing for all the people born that are famous from the state of Montana.
Oh, that's cool. Nice.
Um yeah, it
I like that.
sounded cool when I first thought of it.
Okay. Did it
And then there was just a lack of people
Oh,
that
wow,
were
really?
really good.
Huh.
So, but we're gonna do it anyway
Okay.
because some people will be appreciating this, especially those from Montana.
Okay.
Although now that I've just insulted it, they probably won't send me a Christmas card.
Oh, man.
So, all right. So, where do we start? We might as well start right smack here. Tara Patrick, adult entertainer, porn star.
Okay. I did not know that. I don't think I know who that is.
Yeah, I don't know who it is either. So,
Okay.
um,
That's alright, I
but
guess.
yep, she is from Montana. She's born in Montana.
Okay.
I'm guessing it's a she, Tara,
Okay, Tara. Probably. I
probably.
would say yes. Let's go with that.
Uh, Brannon Braga, producer of Star Trek
Oh,
TV
okay,
show.
wow. That's interesting. I didn't know who
Yeah,
that see, I'm learning about new
didn't know
people
that.
today.
No, I didn't know that either.
Wow,
You know,
interesting. That's pretty
Troy
cool.
Evans from ER. Troy Evans. I have
I'm
no
trying
idea
to
who that
remember who
is
that
either.
I used to watch ER, so I should know who that is, but I don't.
Yeah, you should. I didn't watch
Shame
ER.
on me.
Pert Kelton. Do you know who she is? She is the first person that played Alice on Honeymooners.
No, I did not know
She
that.
was the first Alice I did not know
I didn't know that
there
either.
was a first Alice.
I didn't either. Wow. Now I'm
So
bamboozled, Ron.
right, see?
Hmm.
Again, that topic could be for anything. John Dahl, director of neo-noir films. Don't know any of them.
Okay.
Um,
Me neither. Man, where have I been?
Let me see. Wally Kurth from General Hospital and Days of Our Lives. Uh, Kenny probably knows who that is. He used to
I
watch
probably
General
would know if
Hospital.
I used to watch Days of Our Lives as a kid, though. I don't know if it's recent or not because I think it's still
He
on.
was some, I think
Or
he was some millionaire, Killick or whatever his name is.
if I saw his face, I would probably know it.
Yeah, you probably know him.
Because I only know Jennifer Aniston's father, but otherwise, yeah, there were a bunch of other villains like that. So anyway,
Yeah.
hmm,
My honorable mentions. Even my honorable mentions kind of suck,
okay,
but there was so few.
but it's
Like, oh, I
unprecedented,
just
Ron.
named all the people that somebody probably knows out there.
So what does this mean? Montana's so great that nobody really wants to leave it, so that's why there's not a lot of
No, no,
people
no,
or
no.
something.
I think people like there's a lot of famous people that currently live there. They
Right,
all
but I mean,
go there.
coming from
David
there.
Letterman lives in Montana right now.
Right, right. No, that's true. I know
So
that.
they all go there to get a ranch and just chill
But nobody ever comes from there and
to
decides, I
become
can't stand it
famous.
here. I
Yeah,
got to get out of here. I guess that doesn't happen
right.
in Montana.
There's literally what 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 names I have down here
Wow.
that were remotely famous enough to put on this list.
Okay. Well, see, this is something I didn't know though, so
Yeah.
I'll take it.
I did not expect this few. So, honorable mention David Lynch, director. He's won 4 Academy Awards. He made the original Dune
Mhm.
with that was with Sting, wasn't it?
I don't know because honestly, I've never seen it.
Yeah. He made Twin Peaks, the TV show,
Yes.
and Blue Velvet, the film.
Yes, he did. Blue Velvet, what a
So,
weird film. Well, if you haven't seen a
yeah,
weird film
he's
before,
very
there's one
weird
for you.
because Twin Peaks was kind of weird too.
Yeah, it was. But I
Dune
mean,
was kind of weird.
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
He's a weird
Yeah,
guy.
but David Lynch. That's the
So
only one
David
I
Lynch.
knew. And
Yep.
he's an honorable mention?
Yeah.
Okay.
There are better.
Okay.
Somebody is calling me. Michelle Williams,
Okay.
Brokeback Mountain, right?
Yeah. I mean, among other things.
Yeah.
Blue Valentine's a good one. Michelle Williams, I think.
Yep.
Yep. Ryan
Michelle
Gosling.
Williams, honorable mention.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Jeff Ament or Ament, the basis for Pearl Jam.
Oh, you know what? I'm thinking of my brain was doing Hollywood films and I didn't pick up on that, but yeah.
Yeah, basis for Pearl Jam.
Okay.
He's in there. I
Yeah.
like Pearl Jam.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
Honorable mention Robbie Knievel.
Evil Knievel's kid or Evil Knievel?
Yes, Evil
Okay.
Knievel's kid.
Good
Yeah,
guess.
only honorable
I
mention.
was like, is that his real name or is that his kid's name? I can't remember.
That is his name.
Okay.
And honorable mention the Bubble. Number 6. Patrick Duffy from Dallas. Played Bobby
Patrick
Ewing.
Duffy. I still can see his name. I can see his face. Yep.
Yep.
Boy, that was
Right.
that
Pretty
was a
good.
crazy show. I just remember that being a whole thing, a whole culture thing where the entire world was like,
Yeah.
"What? Who shot JR? I can't
Fascinated
believe
by
that."
it, right? We just mentioned this the other day, Kenny,
Yeah.
because Larry Hagman was in
Yeah.
another top 5 on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And I had him at number 2, and Kenny was so upset he wasn't number 1.
Well, how did it how did that go? Did you guys like wrestle it out or
Well, once I told him what number 1 was, which I don't remember what it was.
I don't know why you would.
I
I'm
don't
sure
even
you
know
have
what it
a
what
million
the oh,
yeah.
it was Larry's. Oh, because Larry Bird was number one.
Oh, okay.
As
All
soon as I
right.
said Larry Bird, then he was like, "Oh, okay, now I know why."
That's fair. Did
I
he
was
did
like, "Are
he
you
agree
gonna
with
put
that?
Larry
That's
Hagman
funny.
against up above Larry Bird?" He's like, "No."
Larry's.
So yeah. So Patrick Duffy, number 6, honorable mention.
Yeah, that's cool.
Um,
That's
Number
interesting.
5,
Okay.
Phil Jackson, the coach from the Bulls, Lakers, won all those championships
I
as a
was a
head
Bulls
coach.
fan. I knew Phil Jackson. Yeah. I was a
Phil
Bulls fan for a
Jackson.
long time. Yep. As a Fairweather fan, I always jumped around. But yeah,
Yeah,
I was a Bulls fan for a
yeah. I
long
mean,
time.
a lot of people do that.
Yep.
A lot of people, bandwagons.
Yeah. Shame on me.
All right, number 4. And if I really, I didn't see his movies,
Okay.
but when you're a legendary actor, you kind of got to put him up there, even though he's not my number 1. But Gary Cooper, number 4,
Okay.
5-time Academy Award winner. I didn't see his movies. I wasn't around back then to watch his movies.
Yeah, I wasn't either. But
You
I mean, I've
know,
heard several references for Gary Cooper, but I haven't
right,
actually watched a lot of his stuff.
right. Gary Cooper's mentioned in Putting on the Ritz by that
That's
taco song.
Taco. Yes, yes, indeed. Yep.
How about that, huh?
Well, I
All
mean, what?
right.
Yeah, what was he big in the 20s? I think.
30s, I think.
All right.
I think 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you
No, I
really.
think the 30s after the depression. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So number 3,
Okay. Number 3.
Dana Carvey.
Oh, Dana Carvey.
Wayne's World, the
Dana
stand-up
Carvey's
comic.
pretty cool.
Dana Carvey.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, he came from he was a great comedian, but he's actually a pretty smart guy. It's him
Yeah.
and he's got a podcast right now with another guy from Saturday Night Live. I want to
Michael
say
Myers.
no. They're,
It's not Michael Myers. They're
no, they're
like
both the
buds.
blondes. No, it's oh, I can't remember off the top of my head, but him and another guy from Saturday Night Live, and they were kind of like on at the same time, and they do a podcast together, and it's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's pop culture reference, but it's pretty cool.
that would be pretty
They're
neat. I
smart
gotta check
dudes,
it
you
out.
know? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice. It's fun.
All right. So Dana Carvey's pretty awesome, right? How
Chopping
about number
broccoli.
2, Dirk Benedict from A-Team?
Oh, okay.
He
And
played
that's
Faceman.
I
He
see. I'm
was
terrible.
the good-looking one that always got the women.
I watched the 18, but I didn't watch it like religiously, so I don't remember it
Yeah, I used to watch
that well.
religiously.
I didn't. I was kind of like if it was on, I watched it, but I didn't follow it. So
Yeah. Well, Dirk Benedict on
sadly,
the
I know who
A-Team.
I've heard his name, and I think
Yeah.
I remember his face, but I didn't see the show much, or I don't remember it much. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And so he's number 1.
So who's number 1? It's got to be this guy, Evil Knievel.
Okay.
Robbie Knievel is okay, but it was all about Evil Knievel and him jumping over the Grand Canyon, doing all kinds of stunts.
Yeah.
And, his son just took over, afterward. But it was Evil Knievel that was the best. I mean, I remember all the specials with him doing jumps and stuff like that on his motorcycle.
Well, listen, shout out.
Clearly the number 1
Yeah.
Montana
Excuse me.
resident.
Shout out to all the kids. We're Gen X kids, right? So shout out to all of us in the 70s with friends that used to do this ridiculous Evil Knievel thing in the yard where they would find some piece of wood and a cinder block, and 3 or 4 children would lay underneath in between. There would be
Yup.
3 or 4 or 5 kids, and then somebody would come up on a Huffy, you
Yup.
know, and jump the kids, and the parents are out there taking pictures, and this is what we grew up with, and that's why Evil
Yeah.
Knievel caused
Everybody
all of
wanted to
that.
be Evil Knievel.
Yes. There was he had the best outfits with the exception of Elvis, because he reminded me of Elvis. He had that flashy
He
like
was the
red, white, and
Elvis on a
blue.
motorcycle.
Yeah, he just had that same kind of with the flare pants and although I don't know
He's
how
got
the
the
heck he
cape. Look at it right there.
right, like all of
That's the
that
cape.
except yeah, Elvis no, Elvis did have a cape sometimes. He
Yes, he
did.
did.
And so I don't know if the 2 of them, maybe they had sat down and went over some
I don't
fashion
know.
decisions or whatever it
They
was, but
must have.
very similar. And at the
Yes.
same time, same
And
era.
he would do a lot of his stunts in Vegas.
Yes, yes. So, I mean, I get it because Vegas is like that's the place you go if you're gonna do really
Yeah,
weird stunts like that. But,
yeah.
I think
It
Doug,
was brilliant.
Doug Hennings, believe it or not, I can't believe
And
I
half the
pulled that
time he
out.
failed.
Yeah, yes, he did, but
He
it
broke
didn't
every
matter
bone
to
in his
people.
body, this guy.
It didn't matter to people. Every kid in my this is why most of the boys I grew up with broke their arms and broke
Yeah,
their legs
yeah.
and all that other stuff fell on their faces and
Trying to
broke
be
their
Evil
noses
Knievel.
because of Evil Knievel. So think about how many people he influenced and all of those toys from Toys R Us and wherever we went
Right?
that had all those little action figures that they put out
Yep.
of him and stuff like that. That's so cool. But
It's
yeah,
craziness.
that
It
was our
was a
summer.
cultural phenomenon.
That was our summer. Yeah, Evil Knievel is a huge thing. Now think about it, in 100 years, people are gonna look back and read about Evil Knievel and be like, "Wow, there was a guy that did all this stuff," you know? But it we lived it, so
All right,
yeah.
we gotta move on. We oh man,
Uh-oh, are we late?
I
We're
just
late.
keep talking. I don't do a good job at hosting.
Okay.
We're late every single time I do it.
People are gonna get a little bonus Saturday morning thing. Okay.
That's right. Bonus time. Trying to
Uh,
break that record that me and Becky broke on Thursday.
oh god. Was that
An
20 minutes
hour and
past?
39 minutes was, I think,
39.
our show length. That was the longest show
Wow.
ever.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna try to this is pretty quick. This will be pretty quick. I also gave you Lunar Australia because I didn't want you
I
to have
have no
I wanted
idea.
you to have no idea what I was talking about. But
I don't.
did you know that east to west, the diameter of Australia is about 4,000 kilometers, which is more than the diameter of the moon? The diameter of
Wait,
the moon
is
is
it really?
yes, and the diameter of the moon is 3474, and the diameter of Australia is 4,000. So it's actually
So
a higher number.
it's wider than the moon.
Yes. If you took the moon and you made it flat,
Laid it out.
it's actually shorter in
Wow.
kilometers than Australia. I thought
That
that
I
was
did not
interesting.
know. Yeah, that is
So
interesting.
now, the moon is a spherical body and Australia's a continent. So obviously, while it's wider, it's still a landmass on Earth's surface, not a planetary body. So there's a very big difference between the two.
Right.
But it's just a comparison that I guess is often used to illustrate
Yeah.
how vast Australia is, because a lot of people, I guess, don't see it that way.
Yeah, because you think of it's an island, it's not that big,
Right.
but it
Right.
is.
It really is. And if you
It
go and
is.
I've never been there, but I mean, it's so for whatever reason, and we're just as guilty as US people, as people from outside the country are about how what our country's structured like, right? So we visualize it a certain way and
Yeah.
that's our ignorance probably. Maybe we should look more into it, but
Filled
it is a
with
huge
crocodiles.
oh, it's got crocodiles, it's got killer spiders, it's got all kinds
Yeah,
of
yeah. Snakes.
scorpions. I mean, it's literally if you it's got kangaroos that wait in the middle of the water to try to kill you when you come in. It does. It's got kangaroos that like built like
Yeah, kangaroos are no joke.
jackhammers. It's got drop bears. What'd you say?
They're no joke.
No.
They're they have arms like Popeye.
Yes. Yes. I mean, it's crazy. And some of them really do wait out in little bodies of water in the middle and just stand there.
Yeah, not surprising. They're a crazy animal.
And humans come in. Oh my god, are you okay? Like they literally just try to lure humans in and
Just
kill
beat the
them.
hell out of you and take your wallet.
Yeah, and then we've got, like, the koala bears that are all they all have chlamydia, which I that's the another fact I never knew, but I thought that was amazing when I found that
Yeah,
out. Now it's a kind of
yeah,
everybody knows that, but yeah, there's so
yeah,
many cool things in Australia, but, like, so many things that could
yeah,
kill you. I can't even imagine living there.
yeah.
But there are girls I know who do on my I have a little group there, and some of them are from Australia, and they're like, We're fine. We can do it, so God bless them. I don't know. Anyway, that was a very short fact, but that was it.
Yeah, well, you're gonna love this next one.
Okay.
You're gonna love this
Okay.
because you just said one of the facts.
Uh-oh. Oh, see? Yeah. I didn't know you were gonna talk about koala bears today. See
I
that? It
I
totally
didn't either.
blended.
Well, I didn't think I was gonna be here on the show.
Yeah.
So today is International Wild Koala Bear Day.
Oh, wow.
And it just happened to
I didn't know it was
fit you
today.
talking about Australia.
See that? That's the that's really weird for 2 people who did not know each other's stuff that
Nope,
prepped.
because I didn't look at your topics
Yeah.
until later
Yeah.
when I sent the show details, right?
Yep.
I saw that Ira wasn't going to be able to make it, so I went right to work and did my topics.
Yep.
And then I looked to see what you have, and I was going to put it all in order. And I'm like, oh, well, this is interesting. So
I
I got
mean,
fun facts
that's cool
of
then.
the koala bear. Oh, and this is just going to be absolutely incredible. You're
Okay.
going to love it. All right. So to start, of course, now you just said they all have chlamydia, right?
Oh,
And
sorry.
and it's tough to treat it because of the fact that in their stomachs is all of this eucalyptus
Yeah.
because that's what they eat. So so they aren't bears for one.
Mhm.
They are marsupials
Mhm.
and they
Okay.
have pouches just like a kangaroo,
Yep.
and that's where their newborns develop, right? So newborns are called a joey.
Yes.
They
That's so
crawl up
cute.
into the pouch after they are born, and they are blind and earless. So they rely
Oh,
on their sense of smell and touch to get into that pouch,
wow. I love them. 'Em, they're so cute. They're
right?
evil, but they're not evil, but they're
So
anyway.
they will stay in that pouch for 6 months.
Okay.
And then for the following 6 months they ride on top of their mother's back,
And that we've seen. I remember
right?
seeing pictures of that, yes. That's pretty cool. A year.
So yeah, yeah,
That's
they
pretty good for
spend
an
a
animal. That's
year,
a long time, kind of.
right? And they only stay pregnant for like a month.
Wow. So their
That's
pregnancy
all
is
it is.
actually
Only a month.
shorter than their actual raising of the
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. So they eat 1 kilograms of leaves per day. So what is that? Like a half a pound?
Yeah, I think it's a
Unlike
half a
the
pound,
other
yeah.
animal that the
I
panda that eats
know. 84
84
tons or
pounds a
no,
day.
84 pounds. Let me adding tons to it, trying to exaggerate it, but no, 84 pounds, yes.
Yeah,
Crazy. Pandas are a little bigger though, so
yeah.
fair.
So their name
Mhm.
comes from the Aboriginal word meaning no drink. And I know I've checked out 4 or 5 websites today, and some of them don't explain it properly. They say no water, and it's all no, it means no drink.
Okay.
That is
Does
the
that mean that
actual
they get
meaning of
most
the
of
name.
their hydration from food?
So they get most of their
Mhm.
hydration from the leaves that they eat.
Okay.
So they very rarely drink any water.
Okay, that's fair.
Let me see. Eucalyptus leaves, like I said, are poisonous. So
Yeah.
koalas have a long digestive organ called cecum
Mhm.
with elbow with with elbows. Yeah, which allows allows them to digest the leaves unharmed. So they have a special digestive system to eat these things. If
Yeah,
anybody else eats these, they're
they
probably
die.
dying.
Yeah, wow.
So don't
That
eat a eucalyptus leaf.
I didn't know that actually, so that's pretty cool. I mean, I would
Yeah,
never wanna eat one, but I didn't know that they, were
right.
I didn't know they were poisonous, and I didn't know that they had a system to protect them
Yeah,
from that. So that's kind of cool.
yeah. So so what do they do, right? What do they do? Well, they sleep up to 18 hours a day and they eat leaves. That's what they do. When they're not eating leaves, they're sleeping.
So that's it. Well, there must be some ecological something or other that their purpose
Well,
is,
I
right?
mean, they mate, but
They
they
do
don't
mate,
even
but
associate with other koalas.
I know
They are
that I know.
loners.
They're pretty rude to their children too at some point.
Yeah,
I
well,
believe. Yeah. But yeah, I'm just saying, like in the world, like all of everything has kind of got a purpose of being for
yeah,
something in the universe, in the environment, the nature. So they must have some purpose for that.
right. So, depending on the website, you're going to get some different information.
Mhm.
All right. Some are saying that they are endangered, but they are in fact not endangered.
Right.
But they are vulnerable.
Yes.
They
Okay.
have lost 80% of their habitat due to human homes, drought, and
Yeah, the
wildfires.
wildfires were crazy. That had to do a lot of damage.
So they're found in the eucalyptus forest in eastern Australia. There are 43 to 83,000 of them left.
Wow.
So they are vulnerable because that forest
Yeah.
is disintegrating because of man, mostly.
Yeah. I mean, we're just pretty much the cause of everything. Let's be honest. We're horrible.
Now, here's the staggering number: koalas need 100 trees each to survive,
Wow. I can't see that sustaining itself at all. It sounds like
especially with a shrinking forest.
it sounds like that. I don't know. It just seems like that's not going to work, or that's a hard ask.
That is a hard ask.
You know.
Um, the koala's natural predator is a domesticated dog.
Okay. I
Doesn't
mean, I
that
could.
blow your mind? A domesticated dog.
So I guess my questions are like, what before dogs were domesticated, which is, I mean, how long have they been around? You know, have they been?
Yeah,
Was their
that is their
population?
current predator.
Wow.
Isn't
I
that
mean,
crazy
that is
to even
crazy.
think? And it's domesticated. It's not a wild dog.
Right, I know. Like,
It's
that's we
domesticated.
I have some questions about what about, like, wolves and I mean, there's all kinds of non-domesticated dogs that you would think that they would be worse, but
Yeah,
okay. I mean, I don't know what dogs do in Australia. They just have them like, running around? Like,
apparently hunt
because
for
here,
koala.
they're just not out running around like wild, so but in Australia, it may be different. They may just have their dogs just might be coming and going and having no
Yeah, I
fences
guess
and
that there's
whatever.
so many homes along the forest
Yeah.
that the dogs are just running loose and they're
There's
killing
probably not a
koala
lot of
bears.
yeah, there are probably a lot of dogs that are just not like, they're domesticated, but they're also not living in anybody's house. They're just,
Yeah, they just let them loose all the time,
you know, or they just live out in the woods.
or
Some
they just live
dogs.
out there.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna look
I
into
don't
that
know.
later. That's interesting.
All right, this is going to blow your mind.
I hope let's hear it, Ron.
This is
Let's
the
hear it.
last one. The males have a two-pronged penis.
What have I heard? I don't know if I've heard that or I heard something like that a long time ago, but it might have been a different animal, but that's crazy. Okay.
It is crazy, right? Not to be outdone, the females have three vaginas and two uteruses.
Now that I've heard.
Three vaginas.
Yeah, that's weird.
So,
So okay.
yeah.
That's a
So
lot to
they could
keep
take on
busy.
a number of koala males.
Wow,
Go figure.
I can't see 2 koala males not killing each other over this. Like, I can't see the 2 of them
Right,
just not
right.
unless it's not at the same time, I can't but if it is, I can't see them, like, being
Could you
real.
imagine if that was humans?
Yeah,
What kind of craziness would that start?
well, I don't know, there'd be a lot of people beat up. But then I could go down a road I won't, and then that's about it. But it's so weird because I was not looking up koalas or doing anything like that. However, in my research yesterday, I found that koalas have fingerprints like we do. It's the
Yes, they
only
do.
fact I found, and
Yes,
I
they
don't
do.
know if that's what you've already you already have that there.
Yeah,
Because I
it's
thought
down
you
here. I just
yeah.
because of time, I kind of skipped that one.
Oh, well,
Just a
I
few
put
of
it
them I
right back in
skipped.
there for you.
Yep,
Yeah, I
you
thought
did.
that was interesting, and I wonder if
Yeah,
they must all
fingerprints.
be, like,
And
unique and different and
that's
everything.
why he's waving high, so he can show you his fingerprints,
Oh,
or her.
yes,
Could be a female. I don't know.
exactly. I thought that was interesting, like, wow, like, I don't know. That's so crazy that we share that one trait, that's weird. Anyway, and the
Isn't
chlamydia,
it
of
crazy?
course, because we share that too, let's
And the
face it.
chlamydia,
Some
right?
people do.
It probably got it from some sick human.
Oh god, don't even bring it up.
Think about that
That's
for a
yeah,
minute.
I won't. I don't want to.
Think about that for a
I
minute.
do not want to. Uh,
There's some sicko out there right now that's thinking, "Oh, they got 3 vaginas."
oh god. Do we wanna go down that road? No. How come we don't have any messages? Where are our messages?
I don't know. I'm surprised. I'm
I guess nobody's
surprised.
around. It's such a nice day that everybody's just like, "I can't be
It
bothered with
is.
that."
It is. And that's fine because they'll watch the show
They'll watch it
eventually,
later.
you
Okay.
know? I don't doubt it.
No.
We have people that watch the show
Hi
later, and
This is what I
Kenny,
think.
I'm
I think they're
surprised Kenny's
yeah.
not watching right now.
I think they're all watching, but we've stunned them senseless with all this information.
I think
And they're
so.
just like,
It's sensory overload right now.
yeah, they're just all, like, standing there going, "Wow, I don't know how to function after I've
They're
learned
all
all that."
speechless and drooling and like, what
Maybe.
happened? What happened?"
Oh my goodness.
All
What
right,
were we
so look, if you want, you can come back Monday. No pressure, but you probably want to get to do this. Becky returns with Martin. It's their first show together in a while. So be sure to be here at 10 a.m. Monday morning, Eastern Standard Time, 8 if you're in Alberta, Canada, and 7 on the West Coast. So you gotta wake up early on the West
Yeah.
Coast. Wake up early. So be sure to be here on Monday. I'm sure they'll have an absolute stellar show as well. Uh, Lena, thank you for being here. It
Thank
was a
you,
fun
Ron.
show to
We
do.
had
I
a good
can't
time.
believe the mind is funny. We were
It
on the
is.
same wavelength today. We both talked China, we both talked Australia, which is pretty incredible.
It is.
And
It's kinda
have
weird.
a great day, everybody.
Are we doing any, "Hey, where else we could be seen and we're good?" You'll
I
see
know
that
we're
in the
good. We're
credits.
good.
Okay.
It's okay. Bye, everybody.